Guys, we've got a major issue with this Audi A4. Oh no, that's just not what I want to see. Oh no, they look fresh. Oh, they look fresh. Oh no, there's more of it. There's chewing down there. Ah, shit.
Guys, welcome back to the channel, and you are not going to want to miss this episode. So grab yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a pack of biscuits, get a pack of crisps, and let's hit the next episode.
Guys, we rarely get a Saturday with weather like this, so let's try and get this Audi finished in this video. So, plan of action for today is just to get these wheels off. As you notice, turn the car around now. They weren't tight. They weren't tight. Get this thing MOT ready. So I just want to get this wheel arch lining in today, but I haven't got the bolts to connect. I think the bolts to connect this bumper to the wing. Now there's two holes here. I put a cable tie in for now, but I think there's some bolts that strap it together. So if you know what the bolts are, let me know in the comments, because I need to get that not cable tied and done. But let's get them cut off and then let's get the wheel arch lining in.
So again, the wheel arch lining is a very straight, easy forward job to do. There's little clips that are around the wheel arch lining. All you need to do is put some plastic caps on and push it back in. Now I do need to sort the bumper out a little bit when I've got the bolts, so I will have to take this back out to get that bumper perfect, but for now it's absolutely fine to get the wheel back on to get the car moved around. So then we're working on the driver's side next. What we're trying to do is get this driver's side sorted. So we're just taking the wheel off and we're looking at the water hose jet where it's peeing out from the headlight.
So we're back on the driver's side now, and so this thing is the plate in question. Now I want to get this out. So you can see there's the steering knuckle behind, and I think it's just catching ever so slightly. So I want to somehow bend it round. So that is now pretty much out with a good tug. So that's that, and that was getting stuck on that steering column there, I'm pretty sure of it. So now it should be free to move rather than that bloody plate getting in the way. So next thing I've noticed, I've just been in the car and started the squirters for the I've just recently put this in. Let me show you. I've just put this new washer jet bottle thing in here, which is this thing, but I've noticed that it's pissing out of here, so I need to get a new one of them corner pieces, and I also need to get some screws for that sensor which is there, which goes into the back up there. So I need to get that done, some of them screws, and then I can get the wheel arch lining inside here. So we have got to put this on. Now this is the wing support, and it's an 8K0821-136B. Now I've got to check that later on, because for some reason it doesn't fit. Now that could be, if you look at the bonnet over there, remember one of the lads told me that I bought the wrong bonnet. So I whipped that bonnet off, I've put the new bonnet on, and I'll show you the difference. It is massive, so big thanks to you, whoever you were. I forgot your name, drop a comment down below. Big thanks to you for commenting, because you're absolutely right. The fitment on this one is 10 times better. Obviously I've got the panel gaps to sort out, but it fits mint. Now I think this part code 8K0 821-136B is incorrect, or the bracket is bent. So if it's from the crash, it could be bent, but it also may be from that old wing that I had that's currently in there getting prepped for the Caddy series. So we've come this far, right? We're nearly there. I have still got the slightest knocking noise, and I don't know where it's coming from yet, so I've got to do a bit more investigation to try and find out where that knocking's coming from. But let me show you the bonnet first. And then I've got the next challenge, which once I get this bracket, or the correct bracket, to go here to line up the wing and everything, as you can see, it'll all pull in very nice once I if you see there, just put that bit on that side there, once that's all pulled in, it'll look really nice and sharp. But what I don't know is what I use to go through here. So if anyone's got an A4, anyone knows, what are the wing clips, are they just screws and bolts? Obviously let me know, because I don't quite know what goes inside that hole. So this is the new bonnet. Now, to put the bonnet on, there's literally 2 bolts here that connect it together, and then there's 2 bolts here. It is as easy as that, replacing the bonnet. Don't be fooled, it is the easiest and simplest job. But if you remember before, the bumper overhang, now I'm waiting for one plastic bit to come here that sits behind, but look at the fitment already, and I've not even lined it up. Look at that. So I think you'll agree it ties in very, very nice. Now the wing needs slightly adjusting. This side needs slightly adjusting to be like this, and it'll look 10 times better. I also need to move it so that it grabs it in the middle and sits down like that. But I think you'll agree, just tell me, that bumper, it just looks 10 times better. So again, I want to say a massive thank you to you, and I will try and find your name in the YouTube comments, and I will give you a good tag, because you've massively helped me out there. But yeah, front looks great. So what do I need to get next? I need to get a grill. I need to get a grill, because you can see there's a crack just here on the grill, on the trim. There's also a crack here, but again, that won't stop it going through an MOT. As I said, I've still got a clunk to sort out as well. There's a clunk somewhere. I just need to try and understand where it is, or try and tighten something and see if that'll make any sort of difference. But and then the wing clips, if you can let me know in the comments what bits we use for the wing clips. If you do know, then please do let me know. But this thing is just, honestly, I've lost the TPMS sensor now. That was coming on because the bonnet was open, believe it or not, so that's done now. The airbag light, I think that airbag light is a fault somewhere in the wiring, and that meant that we were getting so close to finishing the Audi A4 project. So I think it's clear to see, I found the reasons to why we've got that airbag light on. Now if you can see, there's a little bit of chewing marks in the corner there. That definitely looks to me like fresh poo, which means he's either still in here, or it's just because it's a glorious day today. But that looks very, very fresh to me. So I think the only thing I can do, which this is quite painful at the minute, is, well, one, I need to identify where that break is in the airbag wire, because the airbag's definitely not gone off. There's no airbags gone off. So this would start to make sense as to why I've got that airbag light on the dash. There's got to be a mouse or a rat, or has been one of them in this car. Now it doesn't help if the previous owner is going to leave the likes of sweet and sour, although it is a good choice, in the car. But as you can see, I don't really want to touch anything because it might have poop on it. So, not the way I wanted to start my new daily driver. I think what I'm going to have to do is shoot to the shop, get some mouse traps, and hopefully the mouse is already gone. And you'll be surprised and how hard it is to try and find and trace where this, but it must have come through this direction, so it must have travelled through the likes of here. Now if you look, at some point it looks like there's a little poo down there, and it looks like you can see the wrappers are left over, so it has been in this section. Now what it might have done is, look at the sauce, it's just because sauce is on there. I mean, that is just, imagine if I seen it now, I would absolutely shit myself. It can't go under the carpets, it's too tight. It must have gone through this little section, back and forward. Now I can't see any traces of poo in here, so I think what I'm just going to have to do is keep stripping back and hopefully find something. But it's definitely been down this run of the car. Now the airbag light that's on, so this is one airbag plug. Obviously I'm not going to touch him because the car is the battery is live, so I don't want to touch it, but there's a yellow plug here and a yellow plug underneath at the bottom there. Now I think this yellow plug at the bottom might be a relay to under the seat, but if the mouse has been down here somewhere, there's definitely little drop-ins and stuff down there, I'm sure of it. It's definitely had a mouse inside here, so I'm pretty sure that there'll be a wire inside here somewhere that's probably been slightly chewed on. There's probably a little bit of wire just hanging out, but I'll have to disconnect the battery to try and find out where that is. Another reason for this is I just started stripping out above here, and this is where all this fluff and stuff will come from. Now that could have been from the manufacturing, but I hardly doubt it. That looks to me like it's been storing stuff in here, so I think it's definitely gone. But when you look at the back of the car, there looks like not fresh droppings, but I mean I could be wrong here. If there's any pest control lads, then please let me know, but they look pretty fresh. Now again, it is warm outside, it could be the fact that it's warm outside. I'm going to clean this up with a hoover, and I don't know how else it could get in. Could it get in through that hole? No, of course it couldn't, man. It's got to have jumped in somehow while the car's just been sat static. Or the other alternative is the airbag wires. I'm just trying to trace now to see if they come down one of these runs at the back, because if they do, it could be that there's a wire behind here somewhere, this pillar, that's been chowed off slightly. So I think best to just strip it out, have a look, go and get some mouse, set the mouse straps up, and hopefully there's nothing inside the car, and that is perfect for me because it just means that there's potentially a faulty wire, and I know the airbag's not set off because I've had a look at the airbag already, so that will be the best case scenario. Obviously it needs a good clean, we need to start wearing gloves when we're in the car, but if little Mickey is still around, then little Mickey will be found. Now I'm not one to show if I do catch something, but let's face it, I will try and put it in the most eco-friendliest way of trying to capture it if there is something inside it. But if there is, let me tell you, we want it out. So just ignore the fact that maybe it gets hit by one of these metal bars across the neck. I'll try not to because I'm nice, but it depends what they've got in the shop. But what do they like best? Chocolate? Cheese? Sweet and sour sauce maybe? I mean, it looks like he's drank that, so guys, this is not what I wanted to see in my new daily driver. But we're steering, we're driving, we're moving. It's just the airbag light we've got left to sort out, and it is high resistance, remember that, so it looks like it's linked to a bit of an earth or a wiring, so it's got to be some copper showing somewhere. I've got the auto glazing guys coming out to replace the windshield, as you can see, because it's got a great big crack in there, which again, it's not a driver's side, but it wouldn't pass an MOT. So I was looking online, I was trying to see if there's any yellow plugs in the back section here. Now what I'm looking for, if you look in there, there's a grey little wire. Now grey, yellow and brown, there's a couple. Now they look like fresh poos. I am getting slightly concerned now that there is a mouse or something inside here, and I hate rodents, but what I have been doing is just looking, and sometimes in life you're made for what's known as a miracle. So guys, can you see what I can see? Passenger airbag run. Look at the wires, the green and the blue have been chomped to bits. Let me zoom in. So that's why I've got a high resistance on the wires, because there's definitely been a mouse inside here. So guys, that's all for today's video. What an exciting time. People would panic at this opportunity, but for me, that's why the airbag light's on, and I always like to follow things through. And high resistance, we know fine well that that's not a blowout of an airbag, but I've got to get it fixed because it is pretty much dangerous. So now let's go and get some mice traps. Let's get them inside there. I'm going to put them right near where that what we look like fresh poo was, and let's see if we can find little Mickey. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like, smash that subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.